One of my goals this year was to take the boat out sailing by myself for a couple of days. I did this in early October, before the boat comes up on the hard for the winter. I decided to explore the Chester River, which is right across the bay from our slip near Baltimore. The weather was in the 50s and low 60s. It was windy and overcast. We're sailing wing on wing, which, because the wind's right behind us, makes it for a relatively smooth ride. We're doing about 5 knots over the ground. I just changed my course back again now. Took the 20 degrees back out. We'll pass well clear of him, no problem. I get a better picture. Now I can see what this is. This is one of those barges that have kind of like the cutout in the back for the tugboat to push it. You couple them together, and the only problem is that the tugboat needs to have a high tower so they can see where they're going. There's a better view of the business end of that. Of course, that noise you hear in the background is the autopilot continually correcting our course to keep us pointed in the direction we want. It lets me be free to take pictures. You can see it's over there. There's a point of land about there, and then of course over here is where the Bay Bridge is. One of the more interesting things on sailboats, I haven't had a chance to use it before, is the gimbal stove. It swings so that the top stays level no matter what's happening. As you can see outside, we heeled a good bit. We're going down through, and the stove just does its thing. It's really quite a ride today. I have the safety line out astern. The interesting thing is that the float at the end of the safety line apparently wants to tunnel underwater. That's why it's disappeared. I had this occur once before. I'll have to fix it. Now the safety line is doing what it's supposed to do. The buoy at the end is floating on it, on the water, rather than going under it. Well, we're well inside the Chester River now. There's the mouth of it there, one side and the other, so we're maybe 4 or 5 miles inside of it at this point. And also, perhaps here you can see we had to go around some fish stakes. This is a way of fishing with all kinds of nets in the water and stakes and I don't know what all, but certainly don't want to run into it. There's a buoy kept me away from it. The place I'm going to tonight is up this way. It's due north. Unfortunately, the winds are coming directly out of the north. So this is about the end of sailing for today, I'm afraid. I'll get the engine on and we'll head up through. Well, we made it. I got here about 4:30 and anchored. Just had dinner. This is looking out of the entrance of Gray's Inn Creek. And we're here at a place called Brown's Point, which is really right about there, the whole way around. And this is what the anchorage looks like. It's very nice. It's shielded with a little bit of trees. As you can see, we're heading to sunset before too long. That's the sun peeking through the clouds there. buttoned up the boat, put the sail cover on and so forth, because we're supposed to have a day of rain tomorrow, which is not a problem. Pretty well set up down below. Table. I haven't been on board before. This is what it looks like. Of course, they're berthed up in front, but we use it for storage. Table folds down, of course. And of course, the area that we use, bedroom, is underneath here. It's actually about queen-size bed size. For those who need to know, horses ahead on board. Underway again. We're heading out of here just because it's not all that sheltered where we were. You can see, kind of see our trail here. That's where we were. So I found I'm going to go up Langford Creek. It's supposed to be a better place. The really great thing about GPSs are that you can retrace your steps. So this is Brown's Cove where we were last night. If this thing will go in focus. Put my keyboard along for a couple, and then you can follow it out. This is where we came in. And so many of these creeks have so many shallow spaces and shoals that you really ought to be able to retrace your steps. Piers, and even lights out there on the piers, docks. I wouldn't be surprised if those are duck blinds back in there. You see a lot of them around the bay in different places. We're on our way up Langford Creek. Of course, it's one of the watermen out. Sure, it turned out to be a beautiful day so far. It doesn't get any prettier than that. You can see even from here how the water surface changes because those trees block the wind. Well, worked out just about perfectly. We're inside the cove here. There's virtually no wind whatsoever. Even though you can see it blowing out there. There's another view of that duck blind out in the water. It's beginning to be beautiful in the day. We had some rain overnight. As you can see, the sky's beautifully clear. There's a waterman. Checking out his morning catch. There's little seagulls around it. There's the island again. Here's one of the locals running his crab line. It runs from this mark here. To somewhere out in there. see a lot of interesting things around the bay. For example, markers like this. This one happens to say Oyster Sanctuary. I've seen one marked Harvest Reserve. Another one marked Special Harvest Area. Oh, there's the town of Queenstown. That's where I was trying to go. There's a big white house there. That's the thing with the T on. But I started in the channel. It's very tricky, and I started following the channel. And there's a strong cross-wind, cross-current. You can see the wake. The channel's going in towards the shore there. And so it tends to push you off all the time where you don't want to be. And apparently the channel is very narrow and not very deep. I got down to in there I got about 3.5 feet of water, and I decided to bail out. And we're on a falling tide here, which means that it's deeper now than it will be later. So if you get stuck, you're going to be there till the tide for another 6 or 8 hours until the tide goes back out. It comes back in again. So I decided to bail out. Interesting exercise. One of these days maybe I can try it and it's also very difficult to see anything because the sun's right overhead and there's nothing but glare on the water, so that's why I decided to quit. So now we're heading on out the Chester River. Well, it's about 11:30 in the morning. The winds are cooperating. They're moderately strong, but they're not too much, and there's not a whole lot of wake out here yet, or a whole lot of waves. So I decided to put the sails up. We've got the mainsail briefed, which means it's only partially up, but it's doing its job. So is the jib. We're cruising along at about 4 to 5 knots. Closer to home. The wind doesn't die down any. The only thing that's different is that it's now 72 degrees, so it's not so nasty. Out something, and then I moved across the east-west channel, so I'm on
this
the
is
north
what every
side
sailor dreams about.
Stay out of the way of this guy. It's coming up behind us, but he'll stay over in the channel, so we won't have any conflict. So you can see his channel markers. Red one there, the green one back there, and there he goes. There's a lifeboat system they have for the out in the ocean. I don't know what flag that is. This is about the wildest yet. The wind seems to have picked up even more. See the flags flapping. We're getting close to home. You can see the range lights. Which means that's Old Road Bay back there.